Hello, my lovelies. Hello, hello. Oh my God, what's going on? That's not right, is it? Yep, there's no me screen. There's no me screen, Lauren. I've got my stitching on there. What's happening? Hi, guys.
No, I think main screen is you now.
What?
Have you got a setup for
I haven't got a main screen. Oh my
Click
God, main screen.
No, you'll
No,
be you.
no,
Click
me.
you.
Me. Hello. Hello, my lovelies. Oh, do you know what? It's been a moment, people. This stream thing was supposed to have been so easy. Can I just double check? Can everyone actually hear me? I'm sitting here talking to myself, hoping that everyone can hear me. Hello, Teresa. Yep, Silver Stitches. Hello, my lovely. Hi, Louisa. Oh, cross stitch mad Sarah. Hello from upstate New York. Welcome to the stream. I've got to be honest with you. That was just a whole hot mess. That's just took me nearly 8 minutes to get the mic not to fall on my head, to get the right screens to come up. I don't know what I've done with my Stream Deck, but yeah, it's like I had all different things to look at, and I was like, that's not the right one. You're all in a blizzard, chill. I am chill. Well, I say I'm chill. I'm actually really warm, but I don't know if that's, you know, that's something other than just being very warm right now. Oh, hello, love you. Oh, yes, miss you too. I know, it's been so long since I've done one of these, isn't it? This is like, it's like a momentous moment. Momentous. Who have we got? We've got, Rhode Island, USA. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hi, Sandra from Florida. Hello, hello, hello. Sandy, hello, sweetheart. Can't wait to see you in a few weeks. Not long now. Lauren says, can't hear the music. Oh, God, here we go. Right, I'm going to start fiddling, people. I'm going to get closer to you. I'm going to start fiddling and see what happens. How about now? How about now? I'm going for a Bailey's later. What is your drink of choice, Teresa? Oh, I'm not sure yet. If I'm honest, I don't have my server this evening. So my server is actually in Italy. So if I do have a little tipple later, I'll have to go and get my own tipple. Hi all from West Australia. I'm actually on my way to bed. This is the closest I've caught to a live in yonks. Oh, my lovely. Look. Go to bed if you need to go to bed. I appreciate that this timing doesn't work for everyone, but this was the best I could do, I'm afraid, on a Saturday night. See, I know how to spend my Saturday night. It was about time that I did this because I was just like, God, I miss doing my lives. We had so much fun on these lives. Who have we got? Rosemary from Texas. Hello. Eld Flamans. Is it Eld Flamans? In Sweden, did I say that right? I do hope I didn't just butcher your name. Hello and welcome to the stream. We've got Tara from Winnipeg. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Melissa says, I've missed your live streams. Well, I'm here now, people. We have to go with when we can, right? Who have we got? Silver Stitchy says, I'm in bed and watching you on the telly. Best place. Best place. Hello from Ukraine. Welcome to the stream. And Suzette from Colorado. It's so lovely to see you all. Guys, what can I say? It's been ages. I can't even remember the last time I did one of these lives. Can anyone remember when it was? Because I'm like, I have no idea. I've just realised that I haven't put my stitching up high enough for me to get to it, so you're seeing it all in its glory here, people. Hi Annette, welcome. And Shannon from Rayleigh. See, I'm sitting there thinking Rayleigh, UK. It's Rayleigh, North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. So Silver Stitches said the last live that I did was last year, November time. Was it really? That is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Where have I been all my life, huh? Where have I been? Right, so has everyone got their craft of choice, their stitching, their what we're working on this evening? Or are we just winging it like me? What's everyone doing? Hello from Whitford, Essex. Hello, local. Love the chair. It looks so comfy. It is really comfy. And obviously with the back situation, this is probably the perfect place to be most of the time. But when I have a work day, even this gets uncomfortable. So Kim says, love the chair. It looks so comfy. I just read that, didn't I? Right, let me double check, because I'm just looking, you know when you're looking at your chart and then you're looking at your stitching, and I'm like, that doesn't look like it's supposed to. Justin says way too long. Yes, you're right, it is way too long. Right, okay, where are we? We're gonna go with some stars. We're gonna go with some stars this evening. My daughter and I are anxiously waiting for more story stitchy videos. The plan is to get to it, but that requires a lot of sitting. And currently at the moment I'm trying not to sit for too long, she says, although I've just gone live with you all. But this was necessary. I've been up on my feet and sort of moving around a lot today, because obviously it's not a work day. So I was like, well, that works perfectly, because the more I'm mooshing around, and then if I want to sit down for an hour or two, it lets me. Right, where's me stars, people? Where's me stars for me colours? I hope you lot are a damn sight more organised than I am, because I'm not very organised. The plan was to get this all sort of like ready so that I could just stick the needle in the hole, like literally, as we went live. But we had a few issues. We had a few issues with tech. Thank God for my tech guru. Lauren was in here assisting with the drama. Assisting with the drama of the tech, because it's been that long that everything that was set up sort of fell off. I'm talking, but I've been stitching on a new start this weekend. It's on the group. I'm stitching Sugar Plum Fairy by Mandy Manzo, charted by Heaven and Earth Design. Hey Christy, hello my lovely from Alaska. You're working on bead embroidery today. Ooh, that sounds nice. You know what, I haven't done any bead work other than obviously finishing Evening in the Park. I know I beaded that, but other than that, I've not done any beading work. Oh, this is going to be a hot mess now. Look, I've just made a whole hot mess with my thread. We need to see your setup. Honestly, not right now, you don't. This setup is I don't even know how to describe it. It's not looking pretty, but we've made do this evening. But you know, when you sort of sit there and say to yourself, right, that is it. You know, if Teresa's going to do live streams, then this setup needs to be a little easier. Charlotte, hey, you went for the Afghan. Yeah, I went with your... Charlotte was the one that said to go with the Afghan this evening, because it's the easiest one to stitch on, she says, and look at the mess I've managed to get myself in already. I've got threads all over the place. Hi Hayley, welcome to the stream. You're stitching on the Grand Library, Amy Stewart. Nice to stitch and watch live. My God, that is a big one. Trying to think, have I done any Amy Stewart's? I don't think I have I? I've got some of her charts. I just need to get round to stitching something really for that, don't I? Silver Stitchy said, I sold my parents on the travelling bookshelf. My dad, mum and I want to do that pattern, but we have settled on my mum and I doing it. Oh, well, at least it's a joint effort. It's not just one person stitching on it. Love to see you stitchy set up for a live stream. I will do a show and tell, but let me get back up to the way that it should be, where it's all set up properly, because it's been so long that the camera gets, because what I tend to do is obviously how I do the live streams is a slightly different setup to how I would do my normal stitch with me's or my like overhead when I do my flosstube videos. So I have to sort of shift everything around each time to make it so that it works. Oh my God, what am I doing here? Look at what's happening, people. we have emergency surgery going on here. Right, okay, that was all that for, how many threads did I get there? 1. That was not cool. That was not cool. Who have we got? Shannon says, how do you like your new toys? I love my new toys. My new toys are amazing. In fact, my new toys, I was gonna, right, I don't know if I've got it in here. No, I haven't. I did have one of my first projects on just before we went live, but then I realized how hot it was because it was a sweater. So I've embroidered my first sweater. And I loved it, and I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I'm going to wear that on my stream later. And then I was like, I wore it, and then it was just like, no, it's too hot for that. We need to wait for a really cold day for that, I think, to be able to wear a sweater on live stream. Right, I think we've got this under control. I think. Can someone tell me how to reply to an individual and highlight their name? So long since we've done a live, I've forgotten. Mary, darling, at least you know how to do that, because being that I'm sat here, I don't do any of the messaging in the comments because I can't multitask to that level. I'm afraid this is as good as it gets. I thought you just typed the name of the person you like to talk to get it highlighted. Don't you have to do an @ You have to do an @ sign, I think, Mary. I think. Obviously, we're not part of the cool kids here. Hello, Kerry's daughter. Welcome to the stream. Is it like your mum's on there and you're on there? Is it like both of you are on there? Hey Janet, I love seeing all the projects being stitched on during this live. I like to know what everyone else is doing because, yeah, I've just got myself in a whole hot mess here. But I think we're there. I think I'm actually there. Claire says she might put some stitches in Ghostly Gather by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, but currently enjoying some peace after taking my youngest to 2 6-year-old birthday parties today. Whoa, that's brutal. That's very brutal, isn't it? Luckily for me, the days of kiddie parties is very much over. Very much over. Although, I mean, do you know what? I sit there, I'm in awe now of anyone that has children, manages to do all the things and then sits down and does stitching, because I get exhausted so quickly. Silver Stitches, I do love your top. It's so cute. Do you know what? I made this top. God, probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I wasn't brave enough to wear it on stream or when I was doing a flosstube video. I obviously stuck it in one of the drawers over here. Never wore it, and then the other day, because obviously I have all of my new toys, I needed to find space for everything. I decided that I was gonna go through the drawers, and look what I found. And I'm like, do you know what? I've got to that age, people. I just don't care. I'm gonna wear it. It goes with the channel. It is me. Betty says, I'm not stitching right now. When I stitch, I get lost and I want to enjoy the stream. I've got a quilt to finish and then can go back to cross stitch. I jump around with projects. Tell me about it. If I told you what I was embroidering my jumper. If I get time, I'll get Lauren to go and get the jumper at the end of the stream, and I'll show you but please be kind, because probably my embroidery is not as proficient as it should be. Well, say as it should be. It shouldn't be because I'm new. But
I'm trying to find it.
Where is it?
It's not anywhere here.
Have you looked in the utility room?
Did you leave it there?
I might have ironed it. Well, I was ironing this because I was wearing the jumper. Right, Do you want to see? You know what I'm stitching, but I'm gonna see if I can flip it to the right screen now. So let's see how we do here. Stitching. No, is that the right screen? That's not the right screen. Or is it? Or is it just that the camera's moved? Hold on, people. Hold on. We're just gonna flick through these buttons for a minute. Lauren, I've messed this up so bad. So, people.
Did you find the right one? That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's now in the wrong place for some bizarre reason because they can't see where I'm about to do my stitching. Right, okay, people. I'm gonna put it on a different screen just so you don't have to see me belly while I fix this. I'm gonna fix this. Do you love how professional this live stream is? It's so professional. Right, be right back, people. I am still here and I'm still talking to you. I just need to sort this out. Right, how do we do this, Lauren?
Well, this is the thing, because you're on Be Right Back, you can't actually see.
Oh God! Oh no! Is that really the? Oh, okay. People,
see your belly.
you're just gonna have to see me belly because it's the only way I can do it. What am I supposed to be on? Stitching?
I don't
That
know.
one?
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let me. Right. I'm gonna wiggle you around. So I'm sorry. You're gonna get a little seasick right now. You got.
And then you just have to focus it.
Right. Let's sort that out.
Yeah.
Is that focused or does it need to be a bit sharper? There we go. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is terrible. How unprofessional is this today? Hold on. Right. Okay. I think we're there. I think we're there. That's where we're going. Right there. Oh.
And next.
Right.
I found it.
Okay.
Oh no.
What? What's wrong? What's wrong?
They said that when you switch to the overhead, your mic started echoing.
Oh no. Hold on.
Which shouldn't be happening.
Hold on, people.
What? Oh,
There we go. Is that better?
that'll be better.
Is that better, people? I'm glad you was here for that. I didn't
right.
even see that. I was like,
It's
yeah,
because
whatever.
the camera was capturing the audio and it was outputting too lots of audio.
See, we wasn't ready for this. We was so not ready. Lauren, next time we need to be more prepared.
Well, now that it's fixed, it should stay fixed.
And is that me or does that? I can't tell from my glasses. Does that look blurry to you?
What? Yeah, a little bit.
Oh
You
no.
might need to focus it again.
Hold on.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Pushing right past me.
Oh.
What is that?
Let's try this again. Oh no. How are we doing? Is that better? When you switch to the overhead, the mics are echoing. Yes, perfect. Yes, perfect.
It should be better now.
Right. Is that clear? I don't want you to look at fuzz. Admittedly, it probably would look better than my stitching, but we don't want to subject you to that. Right, do you want to see? Lauren's just brought my embroidered shirt in.
Do you want a drink?
I'd love a drink. I'm
I
rather
don't know
parched
what one
now.
you want. The ones in the mini fridge in the sofa.
Oh no, we can't.
Oh. Alcoholic.
See, I know that the server's not here, but this server here wants to get me off my face before we've even started stitching. That doesn't. No, the tipple has to happen later because I can't stitch.
So what were you
after.
thinking? Just squash.
For now, a nice squash for one's parchness would be lovely. Lauren is a good one. Do you know what? She so is. Sounds good to me. Yeah, no, I can't get, yeah, we can't do that. Right, do you want to see, let me show you this embroidery that I did. Hold up, let me go. No, that's not it. Oh, I don't even know what screen I'm supposed to be on now. You. There we go, my screen. So, the fun and playing that I was doing today, people. This, like I said, be kind. This is a new thing for me. Look what I did today. It's my new sweater. I don't think it's too bad. It didn't go all wrinkly. It's still got some of the plastic on it where I've put the topper on. But yeah, love. Let me show you. Look. I don't know where the camera is, but it's about there, I think. What do we think? Not bad for a first go.
Okay, let me know when you want the alcohol.
I will give you a shout when we're ready to have the tipple, Lauren.
Okay.
One's partner shall be satisfied by squash, my dear. Most definitely. Here's the squash. Look, it even comes with ice. She's so good. I know. Do you know what? I was so impressed with the designs when I saw them that I was like, I really want to do it, but I'm like, I'm not sure I'm proficient enough yet. But then I was like, well, you know, how hard can it be? And I love. I can't, this is why I can't wait for sweater weather now, because sweaters are actually easier to embroider than t-shirts are. So I was like, well, I can embroider sweaters, like lots of them, but I can't do t-shirts yet because they're not going so well. It's not that they're going terribly. The applique t-shirts are actually better than the actual like embroidery on t-shirts. That's a lot harder than it looks, I have to say. Thank you guys, you're all being so kind to me. So kind. Right, let's get back to the overhead. Let's see if I can do this now. There we go. We're back to stitching. Right, I'm actually going to do some stitching. It's official. Right, where was we? Shannon says, what's a squash? Cordial with water. Like baby juice, as my husband calls it. He's like, you got your baby juice, Tel? I'm like, yes, dear. Yes, dear. Right, let me just make sure I've got enough threads this time, because I made this mistake before, didn't I? Where I thought I had enough threads and then realised that I didn't. So 4 strands. We are on 4 strands on the Afghan. Joyce says thin and slippery. You're not wrong there. Right, so come on guys. What is everybody doing? What have you been up to on your Saturday? Yes, thank you. Did you know what? The nails are in desperate need. Look, I've even like pinged the end of that one off. I need to get my nails done. I think that's next weekend's fun. Next Saturday morning, it's timed to perfection for one's birthday. Your daughter should pop her head in so we can meet the tech expert. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Lauren? Should we ring her? Should we ring her and say that she needs to come and make an appearance so that you can all meet the tech guru that's... Well, in fact, I mean, for anyone that knows about Lauren's channel, Lauren is a YouTuber. That's what she does for a living. Miss Lollipop Sims. And she is the one that does all the things. But she does have her own channel. Lolly?
Yeah, Bunny's outside, Mum.
Oh, is she? Well, they need you to come in and say hi. They want to meet you. She's overseeing the babies, the girls. So Charlotte's been getting nails done and been an adventure playground, and now I'm sat doing retreat stuff. Oh, there's a joy. There's a joy. Right, let me make sure that we're counting right. I did some stitching with my almost 8-year-old. Teaching him on plastic. That's a good idea. That makes it a little easier, doesn't it? How are the girls? The girls are fabulous. They've literally come back from the groomers yesterday smelling like proper pampered poochies. Proper pampered poochies. Right, okay, where am I? I need to come back one. There we go. Saturdays are my stitching day. Been cross-stitching 7:30 a.m. East Coast time. Going on 7 hours now. Wow, 7 hours. 7 hours. That is immense. I should be so lucky. 7 hours is I don't think I could just sit there for 7 hours, in all fairness. I do try. But there's all Saturdays is like, you know, Saturdays is the day where it's like, I always say, right, I'm just going to have a me day because I've been busy, I've been working, and whenever I'm working, it's like you don't really get time that you want to do all the things. But then before I know it, I get up first thing in the morning about 5 o'clock, come down, put the computer on, check my emails, then get sucked in and absorbed into that. And then before I know it, I like look up and it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And I'm like, right, God, I've got to do some housework. So by the time I've done some housework, and it's like, yeah, it's like time to sit down and do some stitching. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. Charlotte, tell me about it. I'm jealous too. I'm like, really? Wow, that's impressive. Although I cannot complain because we've got the retreat. When's the retreat, girls? Not this weekend coming, but the weekend after. And then I'm off to the Essex Needles retreat. Friday to Sunday. So yeah. I can't complain. I'll get plenty of stitching time. Arizona, Deborah sends her love. She will be with us soon. Hi, Deborah, my lovely. I can't wait to see you. How is mum? Mummy's, do you know what? I actually owe my mum an apology because normally I would pop down to my mum and see her in the evenings. And like I said, time got away with me. And before I knew it, was like with all the tech stuff, I was like, oh God, there's so much that I need to sort out. That I didn't get down to say anything to her this evening. So, Mum, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't get down to you, but I'll see you in the morning. But tomorrow, Mummy, we won't get any sense out of her tomorrow because tomorrow is like football mad day. I think she said she's got like 12 matches or something to watch. So, yeah, she's got them all set to record and she's just going to have to sort of like watch the ones that she can and then play back on replay the ones that she couldn't see. So, yeah. We won't get a peep out of Mum tomorrow. So I don't think she'll be too disappointed with me if I don't get down there. And if I do go down there, she'll probably be like, will you hurry up and go away? Wish I could stitch 7 hours straight. Fibromyalgia and lack of concentration allows that, unfortunately. I feel you. I feel you. Hello from Minnesota. Would a wash away stabilizer on the back of the t-shirt help, then embroider on it? Well, I have been using stabilizers. I've been playing with stabilizers. Everything from cutaway stabilizers, which are not good enough for a t-shirt, to the no-show. I've tried fusing the no-show. I've tried the no-show mesh and a cutaway stabilizer. But in all fairness, I don't really know how you get a professional job because the cutaway, you can't just rip it off and then you can't see it. You have to sort of have like a panel of it that sits behind the stitching on the inside of the jumper or the inside of the t-shirt. So I need to find out how you're supposed to finish them on the inside because I'm not down with that yet. Last weekend, I started at 7 p.m. Friday night and got so engrossed I didn't realise that it was 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Oh, Suzette! Wow! That's impressive. Right, hold on a minute, gang, because, of course, Teresa thinks she's gone wrong. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That one was right. And then there should be 2 there, which there is. And then there should be 3 there and 3 there, which there is. And then that one's supposed to go that way. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's right. We're still right. And then this is where it turns into a hot mess. I think this one's in the wrong place. She says. It is. Oh, damn. Well. I'll be spending this afternoon with my parents tomorrow. Nice. Might see you there at the retreat. It's my first retreat ever, so very nervous. Don't be nervous, Justin. Honestly, I remember my first ever retreat. I was absolutely petrified to the point that I nearly bottled it and bowed out. And had I done that, I would never have met the lovely people that I met. So it may be scary, but trust me, we're not that scary. But I'm going to do something here that I don't know whether very many people... yeah, Charlotte, you hit the nail on the head. We're fudging it. My mum's in the chat, people. So my mum's in the chat, and she just said, cast aside like a worn out old boot. You know that's not the case, mummy. You know that's not the case. I just got waylaid. As always, I got waylaid. I don't think I've ever done a stitching all-nighter. Has anybody else done that? I don't think I could. Right, I think we're in the right place. I'm just going to fudge that by stitching over the top of it. I think that's what we need to do. That sounds exhausting just reading that. Well, my friend, you bow to no one. Most definitely not. So how many of you have been to stitching retreats? We need to explain to Justin that it's going to be like the best thing ever for her. How many of you go to retreats or have attended a retreat and had a blast? Hi, Carol. I wouldn't neglect my fellow biker chick. Get rid of that daughter of yours and I'll step in. Really, Mary? I'll leave you to have that conversation with my mum. So how many of you have been to the retreats or to even a stitching day? Because you don't need to do a full retreat. Yeah, Maggie says retreats are fantastic. You might be nervous for about 10 minutes, but I promise you, you won't be after that. Melanie said, I was at my first this past August, got enabled on so many things, lots of haul, lots of stitching and chatting. Honestly, I wasn't sure when I first went because I was like, oh, I don't know anyone, you know, are they all going to be a bit cliquey? Because, you know, there are some places that you go to and you worry that, you know, not that the people are being cliquey on purpose, but they've already got their friend group set up, if you know what I mean. But I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever gone to a retreat where it's not okay to sit on the table with the friend group. Maggie Kelly, I need to change my name, obviously. Mags, why can't I call you Maggie Kelly? That is what it says. I'm literally having to read what I see. So be careful what you write in the chat because now you know. Retreats are amazing. Used to go to the Pole Stitches retreat. Made lots of friends. I didn't know Pole Stitches did retreats here in the UK. How long ago was that? Was that recent? Where were they in the UK? Obviously, I'm not in the know here. Right, hold on. Let me make sure we're in the right place again now. Now that I've messed up my hot mess. Yeah, see. We're going to have to redo that white. I'm just going to stitch over the top and fudge it. I mean, you can. That's like my government name. Ooh. Mags has a government name. I'm going to use her government name now. I'm also afraid no one would want me at the table. I hang up from school. Look, we're not in school anymore. It's completely different when you go and you do stitching. Because everyone's like-minded. That they're all coming to just enjoy themselves, do stitching, be totally enabled. Yeah, all of the above. And make new friends. You'll be surprised. And there's such a lovely eclectic mix when you go to these retreats. And I'm the first person to say that if you was to meet that person walking down the street, the likelihoods are that they wouldn't necessarily be your cup of tea. There are lots of people that are in the room that naturally, if we took the stitching away from the whole thing, they would not be the sort of person that you would resonate towards. But then the minute you include stitching as a pastime, and all of a sudden, it doesn't make any difference whether they were necessarily, you know, outside of stitching your cup of tea. They are absolutely up your street and your cup of tea, purely because you share a common denominator, which is your stitching. This is going to make this look like a whole hot mess, but I'm not going to sit here and fudge these white stitches out. I'm just stitching over the top of them because we can. That's what we're doing. We're going to fudge. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we've got one more there. That's it. Okay. I think we've fixed the error. Apart from the white now is all in the wrong place. That's just typical. That does look a little bit like a hot mess, doesn't it? But no one's going to see that. Not when there's lots and lots of squares. They were held in Cardiff. Sadly, they don't happen anymore. Both Joan Elliott and Nora Corbett attending one. Oh, so Nora Corbett and Jane Elliott used to go to them. I was going to say, because pole stitches are predominantly, well, they do a lot of the Joan Elliott's and the Nora Corbetts, didn't they? Yeah, Charlotte's saying, Shannon, you will love it. I was there in July and it was so much fun. Hey, Catherine. You sneakily got in there on the chat. We love Mags because she stitches us moose decorations. Yes, she does. Mine is all ready to come out for the festive season, I have to say. Look, we're talking about Christmas already. Talking about Christmas. Right, where was we? Where was we before I rudely went wrong? Hi, Kiwi. Welcome to the stream. So, I think we're in the right place. But we don't... Where are we? We are... No. 1, 2, 3. There. So, I have to say, that last video that I put up, I was wondering whether it was going to become controversial, I'll be honest. And we was going to have a repeat performance of the video before. But luckily, I've had nothing but nice comments, or at least the ones that I've seen so far. I have had a little look through, but I haven't seen anyone telling me off for spending willy-nilly and not focusing on the stitching in hand and the stitching that I don't manage to get done. I don't know. I've obviously got to the age now where I don't really care. Because I'm like, when someone makes a comment, whereas before, I used to get really upset. I'll be honest. I used to get really upset at some of the comments on the videos. To the point that you actually question, like, is it worth it? But I now know that it really doesn't make any difference. It's like, you're never going to please everybody. And everybody seems to want to have an opinion about something. So it's like, well, I suppose all the time that they're saying things, you know, they're having opinions on what I do or what I don't do. In my eyes, I'm like, well, I suppose all the time that you're giving me a dressing down, you're not doing it to anybody else. So yeah, I sort of, you know, I've definitely got to an age where I don't care. Right. Your money, your life, Sodom. Tina, I couldn't agree more. Especially now, because I'm like, you know what? I'm too old in the tooth now to be sitting there worrying about what anyone might think. Which is, it's a good, do you know what? It's actually really quite refreshing. Because as I was younger, I think I always worried about what anyone else would say or what anyone else would think. And I think that's not just me. Everybody's like that. When you're younger, you do, I think peer pressure and peer, you know, it means a lot. It means a lot to people, even though it shouldn't mean that much. You should sort of sit there and go, well, okay, you might not like it, but I like it. And that should be sufficient. But when we're younger, we don't tend to approach things that way. At least I didn't. I was always worried about what anybody else thought. And finally, it's only took me nearly 50 years to get to the point where I'm like, do you know what? I'm sorry, but I don't care anymore. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Because I don't have to care. As long as I like something. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, we all sort of sit there and think to ourselves, oh, you know, well, you'd like to think that people would either like you or like what you do, or, you know. But in all fairness, having a YouTube channel has definitely opened my eyes. You don't realise when you sort of stick your head above the parapet what you're letting yourself in for sometimes. But I think as long as you don't take literally everything that someone says to heart and take everything too personally, it's really not. And to be honest, I mean, when I'm sitting there going, oh, well, you know, you have lots of people that are really that awful. They're not that awful. And most of the time, actually, if you read into a lot of the comments are literally people just sharing their opinions. I don't know about you, but do you not agree that sometimes if you have a conversation with someone, they can say something to you verbally and it doesn't seem, for some bizarre reason, it doesn't seem quite so offensive. But the minute people actually write something or type something in this case, it's a bit like with emailing. You know, there's certain things, if you know that someone sort of says, oh, what do you think of this? And actually, if you don't like it, you need to say to them, actually, I don't think that was, you know, your best. I don't think there's an easy way to type something and make your point properly without sort of being like, look, I don't want to offend, you know, or because I could be quite opinionated, but I would only do it in person if I knew that I could sort of like say to them, you know, it's probably not the best, but you know, you've done really well, blah, 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 blah. But literally, the minute you try and write something, no matter how nice you try to put something, if you're trying to make your point, I don't necessarily think that it comes over as, it doesn't come over in the same way. It's like you find it much more easily offensive. If someone turned around and said to me, like, I don't know, say for instance, someone turned around and said, Teresa, I don't like it, you know, blue isn't your colour. Now, if someone says in writing on the channel, if they was to turn around and say, blue isn't your colour, I would be like, oh, okay, that was a bit rude. But if someone turned around and said, you know, I don't think blue's really your best colour, and they said it and they gave me the facial expressions that would make me think, oh, yeah, they're probably right, I wouldn't take it quite so badly. So I think sometimes things that are written are way harder to deal with than actually a face-to-face conversation. Anna said, I got to 50 and suddenly felt like I couldn't give a monkey about what other people think. I love. It's true. It is, like, literally, I don't even know. You know, like, I suppose it must be a bit like when like you have a kid and literally you have a kid that's 2 and it's in its terrible 2s and then it turns 3. And literally it's almost like on their 3rd birthday, they just turned into like tantrum 3s. And I was just like, is that like on cue, on point? Turning 50, or well, I mean, I haven't even turned 50, but at some point this year, I've got to the point where I'm just like, I don't care. Even my mum says, no longer a people pleaser. Now, my love. I didn't think I was a people pleaser to start with. Right, let's see where we're at. Where have I got to? I'm not doing much stitching, am I? I'm doing lots of talking. Lots of talking and not much stitching, but that's not unusual for me. Body language and facial expression is key. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's because we miss the visual cues we get when discussing something in person. That's it. I'd wear blue in every video. See, Charlotte is of the opinion that if someone says anything that sort of is quite upsetting, she'll do it all the more just to make a point. Of course, that's not what I would do. Most definitely not. But I suppose it's a bit like stitching. You know, when sort of like I watch lots of channels that have got various different, you know, you've got some people that like sort of the sampler type things. And literally their entire channel will be about samplers. And then you'll have someone that stitches smalls. And then you have someone that does like full coverage. They're all different, but they'll all be something that, you know, wouldn't necessarily be my cup of tea. Or not all of them, but some of them are. But I think if you open your mind up to that, then it's different. But I think that's the thing. It's like every channel and every person's taste is slightly different. And I think you have people that sort of resonate towards things. So then apparently that just means, you know, it's a bit like when people sort of say, oh, you know, I like your this, Teresa, but I wouldn't stitch it. I get that quite a lot. And that's, you know, I get that because I watch some people's channels and I'm like, that's lovely. And they've stitched it lovely, but I wouldn't necessarily want to stitch it. You have the record of Teresa at a retreat not actually putting a stitch in at all until past 11 a.m. on day 2. Okay, Mags, you didn't need to share that with the stream, did you? That Teresa's stitching is like a massive foul because I'm too busy gas bagging. There's nothing new there. Everybody knows that. They come to these live streams and I sit there and think, maybe I should get someone else to sit here and do the stitching and I just sit and do the chatting. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I should do that? I'm trying to figure out where to work next on my chatelaine. Oh, Kerry, what chatelaine are you on? What one are you working on? Charlotte says, Mags, are we meant to stitch at retreats? Yeah, good question. If you have time for stitching at a retreat, good. Because I never have time. I'm far too busy talking to people. Not bad considering that I avoid people like the plague when I'm at home, right? Right, okay, hold on. So one, come across. One, two. That's what's fun about your YouTube channel. There's a variety. Oh, you'll definitely get variety. You never know what you're going to get next. I've got... What are these two dogs doing? I've got dogs down by the side. They're snuffling around here. Charlotte says, maybe someone needs to teach me to stitch. Kerry, come on, tell us. What chatelaine are you working on? Talking of chatelaines, mine is going to come out and get dusted back off. Because I'm going to the chatelaine retreat. Is it the first weekend of October, Charlotte? Is that when it is? I think it's the first weekend of October. So the Frosty Knot Garden is gonna make its debut. It might just go all the way to Crewe and come all the way back again. Might not even get a stitch on it. But at least the effort was there. The inclination and intent was there that it was going to be stitched on. Of course, I'm sure the ladies that are going to be at the chatelaine retreat will hold me accountable and say, well, you at least need to get one stitch in your chatelaine whilst at the chatelaine retreat. I think that's what we're going to have to do. We'll have to have like a... Teresa will put stitches in the chatelaine at the chatelaine retreat. Charlotte, you might have to count the stitches though. So the chatelaine retreat is 3 weeks today. Just remember to pack it in the car, unlike last chatelaine retreat. What was it I did at the last chatelaine retreat? Did I forget to put my chatelaine? Oh, I did, didn't I? Fancy that, people. I turned up at a chatelaine retreat without a chatelaine. Most embarrassing. Becky says, I was the fat kid in school and therefore a target for bullies. Now I will be 59 on the 24th of this month and I don't give a, we won't swear, what anyone thinks. I'm happy with me. Becky, go you, girl. That is what I like to hear. Hayley says, I need to get my butterfly lace mandala back out again. Went away last week. The one over one butterflies are trouble. Oh, I haven't done that one. I think actually Frosty Knot Garden should be easier. Yeah, Charlotte says you left your chatelaine at home. But then panicked that you'd left it at the garage. That's right. Because I got stuff out of the car. So you know when like you're en route to the retreat. So there I was. Packed the car up. Got in the car. Obviously crew from here I think is... It's about a 4.5 hour drive. I got about halfway and I had to stop. And when I stopped, I got something out the car. I think I had to go to the boot or something. Got in the car, got to the retreat, unpacked, and then was like, hold on a minute, where's my evening in the park? I had the worst moment of my life. I thought I'd left it on the floor or like outside of the car at like a service station. Talk about panic. I had to ring my husband and I'm like, please tell me my chatelaine was there. And he's going, well, where is it? Where will I find it? What will it look like? And I'm like, oh God. And luckily for me, it was there. Lauren, the chat want to meet you.
Want to meet me?
Yes, you need to come in. Right, guys, it doesn't matter that you're not wearing makeup.
I'm looking.
She doesn't look her best, people. She doesn't look her best. Right, hold on. I'm gonna switch us over so that you can meet the tech guru. She's coming in. Oh no, that's not the one we want. We want the me screen. I haven't programmed the me screen. There we go.
What?
Lolly, come and say hi to the chat.
I think Bon wants to come and say hi too.
Oh, Bonbons is coming to say hi too. There we go. So if you've ever wondered, there's a dog. So this is Lauren.
Hi.
This is the tech guru. And for those of you that don't know, she's got her own channel over on YouTube called Miss Lollipop Sims. She does this for a living, this streaming stuff and this video stuff. So the fact, hello baby. The fact that she does these things for a living, I never have to worry about the fact that my stuff doesn't work.
It's quite useful, isn't it?
It is all thanks to her that I'm even doing this sort of thing, because I would never have done it if it wasn't without Lolly. So, but if you like gaming and you like Sims, or you like watching it, or you just need something in the background but you don't want to watch any stitching, okay, honestly, sit and listen to some of the stuff that goes on her Sims stuff, because it's just like, oh my God, oh, I do it now. So if I'm sitting there stitching and she's doing a live stream, and I'm like, well, I don't want to watch something where I'm going to get easily distracted from what I'm doing, I put Lauren on in the background.
Do you? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I sit there and listen to Lauren, so that way I can actually stitch, focus on what I'm doing, and just listen to her tell a story of what's going on in the Sims world, because it's still like virtual life.
I'm reading your in your chat.
Charlotte says, wow, she's your double. I'm not sure.
You know what? I think when I was younger, we used to look a lot more alike.
Yeah.
And then as I've gotten older, I think I look more like Dad.
Yeah.
But I still do think we look similar.
Do you think we look similar?
Not,
nice to put a face to the
not
name,
completely.
Lolly.
I'd love to be able to look like you, but unfortunately Dad's genetics come in strong at the last moment.
You look beautiful. You are beautiful. Look, Sandy says, hi Lauren, nice to see you.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
Chloe's like, can you show us your stream setup?
You need to show it.
I do need to show it. I will do a video, but before I do that, I need to get it looking a little bit more professional, because it's just like a whole hot mess up. If you honestly, everyone sits there and sees this background and they're like, oh, you know, everything's just so Teresa, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't see the chaos that's this side of the room.
Sorry, Bon, I gotta put you down.
It's got to go down.
Really, you'd say more Mum?
What's that?
I wish I looked like my mum too.
I've seen Dad. I would definitely say more Mum.
Really? I think, to be honest, I look like Dad's side of the family, like all the women, you know, like my cousin and my nan. I feel like I look quite a lot like them.
We haven't got a comparison on my side of the family.
No.
There is no comparison. I am the comparison. Hi, Lauren. I envy your tech ability. I'm lucky if I turn the laptop on and it works. I mean, I must admit, she has taught me a lot. So a lot of the stuff, probably if she wasn't around, I could do. Apart from, say, what happened when we went live this time. Because, like, there are, like, little anomalies that... I think because I haven't streamed for so long, there was, like... I don't know, like, the Go XLI, I literally just wasn't even connected to anything. So nothing was working. So she had to come in and rescue us.
Yeah, but there's like things that I guess because I've been doing it for so long, I'm like, oh, I've had that issue before. Like when we moved to the next scene and then you had the echo of the mic, I've had the exact same problem. So I knew exactly when they said that the mic was echoing, I was like, no, I've had that same problem as well. So it's quite, this quite is, lucky.
This is it. See, because she's doing this all the time, every problem I have is something she's already had. So I don't need to worry that, you know, obviously it's never going to work if she's not here.
What are you going to do when I move out?
Oh, don't.
How are you going to survive? I'm going to have to come over and stay here when you're streaming.
Christy says, Lauren, you're a beautiful young woman.
Thanks, Christy. That's so sweet of her.
She's always going to be mummy's little baby, of course. Of course. And you never know. One day you might do stitching. I know you. She has Sims that do stitching.
I do, yeah. I love having my Sims cross stitch and knit. Yeah, it's very sweet.
And there's people on your channel that actually do cross stitch. Oh, and they watch me.
Yeah, they watch you. Because I've mentioned, I was like, oh, my mum has a stitching YouTube channel. And they were like, what's her name? I love cross stitch. I want to go watch her. So they were like, oh, I watch you and your, like, sometimes I'll have your stream on. Sometimes I'll have your mum's, you know, videos on in the background. I'm like, oh.
Who would have thought you would end up with stitchers that are like, they do stitching and they do gaming and they do Sims as well. I mean, I
think a lot of people who play Sims, like, that are probably around a similar age to you, a lot of them get into gaming, like Sims, and stitching at the same time.
I don't know how you would have time to do that. I would never get any stitching done. I did. You know what? When we was we in lockdown?
COVID.
I think when we was in lockdown, when COVID happened, Lauren got me. She put Sims on my computer, so I.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I played Sims, and she set me all up, and it was a new world. And I think the only thing that I really, really liked was the gardening bit. So literally every single time I played, I had a greenhouse and I had a Sim that basically just done gardening. There was like, she was like, well, what else do you want your Sim to do? I was like, nothing.
They just gardened every day.
Just gardened every day.
Didn't do anything else. And you kept getting the controls. You know what? I think the hardest thing is getting the mouse controls, which I think most people who don't play games struggle to learn the controls. Once you've got them down, you can enjoy it. But it's hard to enjoy it when you can't navigate the.
I was going to say, I'm not very good with the mouse and the directional things. I'm like, fine all the time that it's going in this direction, I want to turn right because I know to go right. But when we reverse it and they're walking towards me, I'm like, is that left or is that right? Yeah, it was painful for Lauren to watch, I must admit. What was that? Lauren, I too once thought I would never cross stitch. Now I'm obsessed.
You know, I would never say never because it would definitely be the sort of hobby that I would get into. But I think where I'm making videos and streaming so often, I literally have no time to take on another hobby. Because essentially my job is also a hobby. So it's almost like you taking on cross stitch as well as another hobby. If you're doing cross stitch, there's not that much time to fit anything else in.
No.
Once you cross stitch and you're like invested, and it's the same with what I do as well, so.
I just read it. My daughter loves Sims. You need to get her to go and watch Lauren.
My channel's called Miss Lollipop Sims.
Miss Lollipop Sims.
Which the nickname came from
me.
Yeah.
Because I call her Lolly.
I choked on a lolly when I was 5.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I think it helped that my name
was
kind
Lauren.
of rhymes with
it sort
lolly.
of rhymes with it, but it was because she choked on a lolly stick as well. What was this?
No, it wasn't a stick, it was a lolly.
I play Super City. What is Super City?
I don't know.
We don't know what Super City is. Is it like a virtual one? Is it a bit like Sims?
Is it a sissy simulator game?
Charlotte says, I also remember, I remember the hospital one. The hospital one, Charlotte, remind me.
There was a simulator game about it was what's it called? It's essentially where you simulate a hospital. Like you build the hospital up and you sort of renovate it and things.
Yeah, no, the only thing I remember playing is Paperboy. And that was on, I think, a Commodore 64.
Yeah, that's exactly. Sorry, I read that message. You read it.
Hex, I watch both of you. My favourite is Both Worlds.
Oh, that's so sweet.
My son plays lots of games and does YouTube. Charlotte says, what a way to get a nickname. Choked, nearly to death, and you remind her daily of it. Well, you know.
To be fair, to get over the trauma, there needed to be some, like, you need to laugh about it, you know, otherwise you'll cry about it. So.
Well, yeah, she's already got phobias about anything to do with lollies. Theme Hospital, it was called. It was called Theme Hospital. Oh
yeah, there was one called Theme, and then there's 2 Point Hospital as well. There's two. And loads of people used to play, like, theme park simulator. I mean, like, Sims is just a life simulator, but there's loads of other games that simulate different things, like building hospitals or...
I had no idea of this
You'd probably
world.
enjoy them if you got into them, to be honest.
Where have I got time for that? Look at this room. I've got machines.
Where's it gonna go?
Yeah, I've got machines coming out of my ears. There's not enough hours in the day to be doing anything else other than the stitching and the embroidery and the sewing and the quilting, as if I would have time to just sit and play games on my computer as well.
Go.
I used to play Sims but haven't for years. Maybe when I get around to buying myself a new desktop PC, I'll get back into it again.
You should.
She's enabling.
I'm such an enabler. Every single time someone's like, oh, I should play Sims like that, you should.
You should. I must admit though, once I got into it, you sort of do get a little bit invested into it. You do get a little bit invested, and then you're just like, all the time I was playing it, I was fine, but then the minute I stopped playing it, I was like, yeah, no, we don't need to go there again. I think one day, you know, when I've got all this time on my hands that I keep telling you that eventually is going to happen.
We'll believe it when we see it.
When we win the lottery.
Yeah. Well, it was like you said something about earlier. You said, has
I
anyone ever done an all-nighter, like a stitching? And I was like, you can't even make it past 9:30. What are you talking about doing an all-nighter? You're falling asleep on the sofa by 10 p.m. There's no way you can stay up all night.
Don't tell them all my secrets.
Well, I was going to type it in chat, but I was like, no, I won't expose her like that. I won't say it.
Oh, dear. Honestly, guys, come on. Tell me I'm not the only one. There is other people in the world that are like me that, you know, if you sit and stitch, because you're really concentrating, by 9 o'clock you're done. You're like, phew, I'm tired. Charlotte said, oh my God, is Lauren engaged?
I am.
She is. Do you want to see the ring? Come see the ring.
Do you want to see it on my finger?
Yes.
I don't know if you'll be able to see
She's engaged.
I am.
She's an engaged girlie.
I am. I've been with my fiance for 11 years.
11 years
in December.
Wow.
We just got engaged on my birthday last year.
Yep.
Well, the end of December.
So at some point they're going to move out into their own house.
Hopefully next year. Next year or the year after we'll be out.
What are we going to do about the live streams then? Let's hope that she's taught me everything that I need to know by then, so we can fly solo, guys. We'll need to. Or you're just going to have a whole hot mess every time I want to go. In fact, we could just make it so that we make sure Lauren comes round just for the starting of the live, and then we can let her go again.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Oh, stunning ring. Congratulations. See, Silver Stitches. I'm in bed by 6 p.m. Yep.
I think they want to go out for a wee.
All right, I'll let you go.
I just gave them their dinner.
Thank you, darling.
Oh my goodness.
Can you make sure you keep an eye on them out there because of the foxes?
Yeah, we do. Oh my goodness. I'm just damaging all of your...
She's just knocking everything off.
My bum just knocked that off.
I stitched...
It was nice to meet you all. Bye, guys.
Right, so you've officially met the tech guru. The tech guru. You gotta love her. You gotta love her, people. She's adorable. Congratulations on your engagement. Yeah, Go out. Do you know what? We've got such a big problem with foxes here. I don't know what everybody else's foxes are like, but it's. Oh my God! Can you listen to them? They're so badly behaved when one lets them out. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're counting. We're counting out loud again, people. It's been a while. It's been a whole hot minute. So I need to decide now on what things I will take to my retreat in 2 weeks' time. I've got 2 retreats, so I could take different things to different retreats, couldn't I? But I don't know what to take. I'm unsure. I was thinking that the North Pole needs to come out because it's a Christmassy one. I'm not saying we're nearly at Christmas, all right? We're not talking about Christmas yet. Kerry said, I sent you a message to say what I'm working on. Did you? Where is it? Where is it? Don't think you saw my comment. Amazing Maria Antoinette Rose Garden Kaleidoscope. Oh, I'll have to have a little look at that one. Have to have a little look at that one, Kerry. Becky says, we have lots of foxes and coyotes here. See, now what's the difference between a coyote and a fox? Come on. Because I have no idea. Two more people. I mean, our foxes here are like, well, they're like giant dogs. They never used to be. They used to be really small and scrawny, but now like we've got urban foxes. Urban foxes that basically rule the roost, I think. Hang on a minute. Coyotes will eat you. Fox will probably run away. Coyotes will eat you. I'm assuming you mean coyotes will eat you. They won't eat me though, will they? And to be honest, the foxes round here, I don't think that you can say they won't bite you, because they do. They're very sneaky, are the foxes round here. I wouldn't put it past them to want to bite me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're counting 9. Foxes are smaller and coyotes are bigger and look like dogs or small wolves. Ooh. A coyote is like a small scruffy wolf or dog-like thing. We get the odd 1 or 2 pass through the village and you hear them yapping occasionally, but it's owls that we hear more. Oh, I would love to sit there listening to owls. Listening to the squawking and the screeching that the foxes make is, yeah, it's a little harsh on the ears, people, is all I'm going to say. I sort of sit there, I'm like, my God, would you listen to the noise? And Lauren's like, oh, I think something's being murdered out in the garden. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just the foxes. Just the foxes messing about in the garden.
So Nanny Carol in the window watching your stream.
Is she watching the stream?
Yeah,
is she?
on her iPad. I can see her.
Well, we have to be careful for the foxes because obviously the dogs. I don't necessarily think they'd go for Honey because she is slightly bigger. But then I say that. The foxes, they sort of hunt in packs around here. Brenda said, can you put Lauren's channel link in the chat? Lauren? They said, can you put your channel link in the chat? Lolia put it in. The coyote is not a fox like a raccoon. Is not a badger. So... I don't even know. We had a badger at the front of this window, and I could hear this awful noise, and the window was slightly open. So I knew something was trying to sort of, I don't know, I knew something was out there. So I went out the front door. I kid you not, people. I've got a Japanese maple out the front there. And there was a badger trying to dig it up. And when I went out there, it growled at me and charged. Yeah. Needless to say, I screamed run and run indoors. Slammed the door. She says badgers and me. I had no idea. I'd never come. And I kept saying to Lauren, because I'm going to Lauren, oh my God, it chased me. She's like, what? And I was like, a skunk chased me. She's like, a skunk? She's like, Mom, I don't think we have skunks here. So I was like, well, it was black. I said, and it had like a stripe on it. And she was like, no, I think you'll find that was a badger. And I was like, thank God somebody knows what it was. But yeah, my first encounter with a badger was not a cool moment. I definitely did not have a good moment with badger. So ever since then, because obviously the badger situation, and then the foxes are a little bit aggressive and mean around here, I have to be really careful with the girls. Because, yeah, it's not unheard of for the foxes to have a little try at the dogs. And the fact that they're going in packs now. So rather than just having like a random fox that's in the garden, normally there's at least 2 or 3 of them together. So yeah, and once they're together, they do tend to get a little braver. Right, hold on, where are we? So 1, 2. Oh damn it! I've put my whites in the wrong place again. Oh well. Here we go. I'm just going to stitch over the top. We don't care. The only badger I like is the elderly one in Wind in the Willow. I remember watching that program. Right. Sorry, I diverted off onto the animals, the local wildlife of the... You can have a skunk as a pet in the UK, but not to release it into the wild. So definitely not going to see a wild skunk. Well, I don't know these things. I was thinking of Pepe Le Pew. Is it Pepe Le Pew? Do you remember that? Do you remember the Walt Disney? It was like Pepe. He was a skunk, right? Years ago, I was looking into my backyard when I saw two cats come running through. One of them ran up into the fort on my daughter's swing set, and then a badger came walking through. Wow. Google told me. Did Google tell you that apparently you can have a skunk in the UK, but you just can't have it, you can't release it into the wild here? Yes, it was Pepe. He was a skunk who often fell in love with black cats. That's right. They were the good old days. Going back to my childhood now, with all my childhood TV. Right, okay, let's give that. I'm gonna sort of stitch over. I know these look a little bit odd leaving them at the front, but I don't want to have to flip my work because there's a whole lot of like coverage duvet here. So I'm going to stitch over the top of those and stitch them in from the front. Just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I don't know why. To me, my stitching looks fuzzy. It looks like it's not clear. Is it clear for you? I can't tell. I cannot tell. Let's mark that off. Right, I think she says only very slightly blurry. Yeah, I thought that. But how odd is that? So the stitching looks a little blurry, but my fingers don't. It might just be that it's just not quite right. It's clear enough, so I wouldn't worry. All right then. I'm not going to worry. Considering this is the first live stream back in a long time, I'm not gonna sit here and try and fix it. So, right, we was talking about what I should take to retreats, right? Because I'm undecided. Obviously, the chatelaine retreat, I definitely need to take Frosty Knot Garden because I need a chatelaine. But then I'm like, well, what else can I take? I would love to see how the back looks on this project, seeing as how it is like a throw blanket, or is it a wall hanging? Well, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna put a backing on it. So regardless of whether it's a blanket or whether it's a wall hanging, I'm gonna get some fabric, put some wadding in, and then see how we've got these lines in the squares here. I'm probably gonna do a stitch through so that it sort of binds it per square on the back side and to the front, so that way I don't need to worry about what the back looks like. And then probably do like will I do a finished edge? I suppose I'd have to, really. I don't know, I might put a bit of fringe on the edge on this bit, because what you can do is you can just take some of these strands out and then it makes it into a fringe. So in which case I would only back it to sort of, I'd back it to sort of here and put a finished edge on the back material here, and then fray this bit, and then that way it will be fringed on the front but quilted, if you like, on the back. That's the plan. She has a plan. I do have a plan of how I'm going to finish this. Although we're sitting here saying about me finishing it, but I actually need to get some squares done on it. I mean, we're not far away from a page finish on a square finish. Is that what we should call it? A square finish on this one. But I don't think that's going to happen on this live stream because I'm not stitching enough, and I can't stitch and see the stream chat at the same time. I'm not that clever. Right, where are we? We need another colour. 414. There we go. So yeah, so for the retreats, I don't want anything that's going to be hard to stitch on, because then I won't stitch on it. So I'm thinking Frosty Knot Garden, which will only go to the chatelaine retreat. The Essex Needles retreat, I'm thinking, do we think I should... I think the North Pole needs to go, because there's various other people that are going to be at the retreat that are also stitching on the North Pole. I think maybe my stocking, because that's really easy, and it's like this. I mean, it's like a dartboard. You can throw your needle at it and not worry about whether you can see or not. I did say to them that I was going to take, on my last video I shared that I'd bought some embroidery, like some hand embroidery kits. I might take one of those with me. Not necessarily that I'll start it, but I just thought maybe that might be a good idea to take one of those with me, because that way if I wanted to start it I could. Oh dear, what have I done? Come back here, you. Come back here. As you can see, I do my threads really, really long for this, because I fold it in half to get my 4 strands. So it's 2 strands folded in half. But then, because the Afghan is the Afghan, it sort of eats through the thread really fast. It's like literally I end up with so much, like you feel like you've only stitched like 20 stitches and we've got through it already. It's like it eats it. I did wonder when I got this why there were so many threads. Have you got anything Halloween themed for spooky season? What have we got for spooky season, people? Do you know what I've got quite a few bits that I could start, but the only spooky one that I've got that's already started is my Halloween Quaker. But the Halloween Quaker is on a 40 count Newcastle linen, which can be a little tricky to see. I need to wear like my big impressive mag eyes to be able to stitch on that. So I don't think I would take that one to a retreat. Not on sit there in my mag eyes. That's just a bit much. No one needs to see that. Have you got anything? No, that was Lauren. I'm excited about you joining the quilting side. Oh God, yes. People. The thing is, I'm really struggling now to sort of, it's like having the ability to sort of like stitch some things, but then, you know, then go back and do a little bit of quilting. I'm finding that the quilting is like the quilting stuff and the sewing type stuff is really good for like the weekends. But then come the weeknights, it's like, because I'm working all day and anything that I start, it's like it's taking a long time to do. So I'm just like, no, I don't think we're going to do any of that. The embroidery. So I've done a few tea towels. I do quite like doing that because once you've got it right and you've got it all hooped and whatever, you don't really have to do anything. It sort of does it itself. But I do find that I sit there getting mesmerised by it. So I just end up sitting there like looking. I can't help myself. My daughter has started quilting. Can you recommend any YouTube channels for her? Oh, well, there's another rabbit hole, isn't there? I didn't realise how many channels there were. Talk about... And I didn't realise there were so many different types of quilty type stuff. There's lots. You know, by the time you sort of like start looking at the Kimberbell stuff and then you start looking at the Fat Quarter stuff, or Fat Quarter shop stuff, the OESD stuff, yeah. But now I just want to do all the quilts. At the moment, I really, really, really love the Kimberbell bench pillow. I think it's called Hopping something. It's got rabbits in it. But I quite like that because what I have found is I do actually really quite like the applique side. I've done some applique ducks on some t-shirts and I loved it. I loved the experience of doing the applique. So yeah, I'm still finding what I like, but I had an absolute blast with that. Right, where was we? I'm just finding my way here, peeps. Hold on. There we go. I think we go here. So Charlotte's saying, take the embroidery one with you to the Chatelaine, as there are a few who have done them before who are attending the Chatelaine retreat. So yeah, it would be quite good to have someone that's done some of this hand embroidery stuff. I mean, I know it comes as a kit and it comes with instructions, but even so, it's still, you know, with the organza and everything, it was a little bit intimidating. I looked at it and was like, wow. But I'm assured that it's actually a lot easier than I realised. Famous last words, people. Famous last words. But I must admit, I do, although I'm enjoying doing sort of the sewing stuff and the quilting stuff, I do thoroughly enjoy it in the evenings. Just going, right, okay, I've got an hour to sit down in front of the TV and I'm like, I'll put some stitches in my Elizabeth Weston. Or, yeah, I love it. Morning all, first time joining, laugh out loud, must be a total fluke. Just consider me half awake and still in bed. In Australia, my God, welcome to the stream. And your first one. I like the quilting effects. It's something that I love, but I can't see me doing that. Well, I always said I didn't think that I would be doing much of any of the things that I'm doing now. So it just goes to show you what you never know. Never say never. So yeah, so I think maybe the embroidery kit could be a good shout to take. The North Pole. Maybe my stocking would be a good shout. Right, I'm just going to stitch over this towel so that I don't have to flip. Don't have to flip the work if I'm going to stitch over the top of the towel. Do any of you do this and stitch your towels in from the front? I only do it on certain projects. And obviously this one I don't need to worry about because it's 4 strands. You're never going to see it under there. Right, where are we at? I need to go... Yeah, we need to go right to the end. So, because I've done sort of that far, I'm now going to cut the rest of that off. Like so. And as if by magic it shall disappear. There we go. Halloween Quaker. Yeah, no, I can't take Halloween Quaker. It's on a 40 count Newcastle linen. I won't be able to see. I'm having enough trouble seeing here, and that's with my glasses on, but I haven't actually got very good light. There's good light on me that's over here, and there is an overhead light above me, but it's behind me, which means I haven't got good light over the top of my stitching, which makes it so that it gets harder for me to see. And to be honest, it gets hard for me to see anyway, about this time of night. And that's without any alcohol as well. I don't need alcohol not to be able to see what I'm doing. By this time, it's like my... Do you find that though? My eyes never used to get tired, and now they just feel like they get to a certain point, and then they get really tired. And then I sort of struggle with the focusing. Struggle with the focus, people. Right, let's cross that one out. We're on a black cloud. Where are we at? Let's go here. I do need to start pulling out different projects though, because I'm finding at the moment, because I've got this one that's in here in the office, I've got my Elizabeth Weston that is out in the living room, along with my... What other one have I got? My stocking. I'm tending to find that because they're already sort of floating all over the house, I'm just sort of stitching on those. I haven't pulled anything else out, so that's not a bad thing, because at least everything's sort of getting some attention and I'm not just flipping from one thing to another. I do 1/1 on 25 can, and I made a towel on the front and stitched it in a few times, then cut it off. It is better than working from the back, and towards the end I drag the thread a few holes down and poke the needle through to leave a slight tail at the back of the thread. No knots or messy backs. Well, I tend to find that I like to finish at the front if I can't be bothered to switch it, like to flip it over. Because I don't like flipping my work if I don't have to. It's amazing how we sort of change up the technique. I mean, especially at the moment, because obviously the back situation, I'm doing a lot of things so differently. Purely because it's like, well, I need to be comfortable and I can't afford to upset my back. Who would have thought at this age I would have a bad back? Come on. What about a Bella whose name we can't pronounce? Tabataha. I'm trying to remember the last time I pulled that one. I haven't pulled that one out for ages. But I think I'm at a bit where it's actually quite complicated, that's like needing some serious brain power, because I'm at the bottom of a fin, I think. So there's like lots of counting, but all the colours look the same. Yeah, it is. Maiden of Tabataha. Christy says, yeah, after working at a computer for 29 years at work, my eyes definitely tire after a while. It's not just me then. And I think, I mean, I do spend a lot of hours in front of a computer. You know, by the time I've done a day's work, and then I've done my emails or retreat stuff, which is done on email. At the moment, obviously, I'm doing lots of research and Googling, sewing paraphernalia and things. So I'm spending a lot of time looking at screens. So my eyes, I guess, getting so much more tired. See, now Magwayan is one of the projects that hasn't come out for a long time. But I'm at that point now where I'm like, well, I don't want to start pulling something else out that hasn't been out for ages, because I'm going to be like, oh, I've really missed this one. And then everything else that I was just starting to get some momentum on sort of disappears out the window again. I mean, but I'm fine with sort of like switching things out, but at the same time I'm like, at the moment, you know, when it's like, I mean, I'm in my happy place, in case you hadn't noticed. Definitely in my happy place. What about those 2 turtle doves by Hello from Liz Matthews that you started? Yeah, they're in the cupboard. They're in the cupboard because I was like, I need to be focusing on other things. I mean, when I started them, I didn't think they were very big, but actually they're a lot bigger than I realised they were. For me, they're not like a quick start. I have got a couple of really lovely, like, little ones. But at the moment, I'm like, well, I don't want to start anything else until I've, like, so, you know, when it's like I've set myself some milestones. So the milestone is, this block needs to be finished on the Afghan. I need a full page finish on the Elizabeth Weston. And I need to get a substantial amount done on the stocking before I'm allowed to start sort of switching stuff out. The Elizabeth Weston, in all fairness, the Elizabeth Weston, I think another night or so. Yeah, about another night or so, and we'll have a page finish on that. So then that one I can switch that one out. The stocking, I don't think I've done too bad. I've done a couple of nights on that one. And when I say a couple of nights, that's like literally an hour, if that, in a couple of nights. So why not pack them all and then you have the choice? Charlotte, you're not helping. Charlotte would have me pack my entire content of my cupboards and bring it with me, just to sort of travel around the UK with it. No, I don't think so. And it just makes it worse, because when I turn up at a retreat and I've got too many options to pick from, there's this big dilemma, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll do half a day on this one and half a day on that one. And as everybody knows, when I go to a retreat and I say I'm going to work on something and then it doesn't get worked on, it'll be like, it'll get 2 stitches just for the sake of putting 2 stitches in it, and then I'll like, right, I'll switch it out now. Sandra says she's struggling with sciatica, so can sympathise with you and your back pain. Yes, it's not the easiest to deal with. Although I am actually pleasantly surprised that of late it seems, she says, touch wood. Where's some wood? There we go. Touch wood. It seems to be settling itself down a little more now, and I'm definitely a lot more agile. I would never have been able to reach up to the camera before. But obviously I go to physio a couple of times a week, which I really do think is making all the difference as well. So I'm hoping that, but dare I say it, I'm hoping we've broke the back of it now. So we will see. I've got a follow up with the consultant in October after having the injections. So we'll see what he says. But yeah, I'm hoping that we're on the right side of wrong, if you know what I mean. Right, I'm going to have to go back in and do the white now. I really didn't want to stitch any more white because I think I've messed this up. In fact, maybe I should stitch the blue so I can work out which bits are wrong on the white. That makes more logical sense, right? Hey Susie, my lovely, welcome to the stream. Just got home and you're still live. Still love. Yes, I'm still love and still live. I think we need to stitch the blue. If I stitch the blue, then at least I don't need to worry about, because I might have to stitch over some of these. I've got a sneaky suspicion that my last stitching session was not as fruitful as I thought it was, because I think everything's in the wrong place. So 813. 813 is next. 813. I do need to sort of, I think sometimes I should have like a bit of a stitchy rotor. Is what I need. Now, what is that? Is that 813? See, now, I've obviously written on this one. And then it's rubbed off. Look. But I don't know what that's supposed to say. Does that look like that? Do you reckon that's that colour? God, I hope so. I don't want to mess this up, do I? Come on, chat. This colour here, is that the same colour as that? Exactly. It looks it, right? We need to see. What do we think? Look at the state of that, look. It's a whole hot mess. Looks the same to me. Looks a bit brighter, but that could be the quantity. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe if I lay it flat. Oh, I don't know. Oh, do you know what? We're going to use it. We're just going to go with it. It doesn't make any difference anyway. It's just a bit more sky. Who says that my sky can't be different to somebody else's sky? We're gonna rock and roll with it. Okay. But if I stitch this in and it is the right colour, remind me that I need to write on that, because I'm going to end up asking myself the same question. It will make it truly yours. Oh, yes, it will. It's truly mine anyway. It's got so many errors and misstitching, as you can see, as I'm sharing it all, warts and all with you. Do you know what? I've made a whole hot mess of that. I'm not even going to bother unraveling that. We're just going to get a different bit. We've definitely yeah, this has not been my finest block on here. But then this is the block that's got a bit of hand stitching in it. Which, although arguably you can't, well, I can see it. Not everyone would be able to see it, but I can definitely see it. What is going on? Why is this so hard to pull? It's not normally this hard to pull. There we go. I just need to remember to write the number on there so that I don't forget again. I think, well, what we'll do, we won't write the number on it until I've actually stitched this in. I think we need to stitch this in just to make sure it's definitely the right number first. This is one of those projects where there were so many threads that I never actually fully kitted it up. Right, we're gonna... But the problem with not fully kitting it up is then when you run out of thread and then all of a sudden you have to go and pull another skein. I've obviously put the skein on one of those floss drops and then really not paid any attention to then make sure that the number was on it. You might be affected by the fabric colour once separated and stitched. Yeah, let's have a little look. Let's have a little look and see what this looks like. It needs to, well, it's supposed to be the same colour. Oh, come on, Teresa. It's supposed to be the same colour as the stitching above. So let's see what it looks like. We'll soon find out if it's wrong. I think it's the right colour. That looks the same to me. What do we think? That looks the same? Oh, that was a bit of a tug. Shouldn't have tugged that so hard. Here's the problem with having such long lengths. Sort of. You like this. Oh yeah, I'm just stitching. With your arm hanging out. It's a good job I don't try and stitch this one on a train. Because, yeah, not quite sure how that would be received. Punching people in the face instead. Throwing beads at them and pinging them with beads is one thing, but yeah. Not sure that I could quite pull this one off. I'm happy to hear you are taking care of your back. 5 years ago, I fractured 4 vertebrae when my horse spooked and tossed me. Back pain is horrible, and I hope you continue to get better. My lovely Becky, I'm so sorry to hear that. That must have really hurt. Really hurt. I used to do a spot of riding myself back in the day. If I remember rightly, I came off. And you know what they say, and it's like riding a bike, you know, you have to get straight back on, otherwise you'll never do it again. I never did it again. Never did it again. Yep, I think you're right. I think it's definitely the right colour. So, chat, you were supposed to remind me I need to write on the thing. Because I will forget. In fact, how am I going to write on the thing if I haven't got a permanent marker here? Or have we? Let me see. Let me see. Oh. Is that a permanent marker? That is a permanent marker. Right. I need to write the number down. Yep, everyone agrees it's the right number. We have the green light to write the number on it. 813, that is. Let's reapply the number. Ooh. Oh, hello. Why is it not working? Oh, come on, really? Okay, we did have a pen. We have a pen, but it's run out. Oh, it's going so well, people. Right, what other pens have we got? Let's have a look. No. Sharpie. Will Sharpie work? The Sharpies, are they like permanent markers? Should we try? Although it is a metallic. Hold up. Will a Sharpie work? Oh. Morty and Brom, hello. Long time no see. Right, hold on, where are we? We was right here. Right, so she says it should work. Is this going to work? If I write on this, it is going to work in a Sharpie, right? It won't just squidge around all over the place. Oh, hello. Oh. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Can't even see it. No, that wasn't. Do you know what? That actually shows up more on camera than it does in real life. I'm going to tell you that now. Oh dear, this is going so well. Right, okay. Well, at least it's got something written on it, so I won't mess it up now. Morty, my lovely, where have you been? What have you been up to? Have you been out partying? Justin says, I think you should take your Afghan Your Afghan, your storytelling piece, and a Christmas piece, and a small start. 4 pieces. I like that. 4's a good round number, right? And it's actually quite achievable. She says, famous last words. Mags, no comments from you. It's achievable to stitch on four projects whilst at a stitching retreat. Well, it is for everybody else. Morty, darling, where are you? I'm assuming she's on her hollybobs. Is Morty on holiday? Kinda. We're at Stitch Basel. Where's Stitch Basel? Come on, right, okay, I don't know what she's talking about. People, fill me in. Stitch Basel? So have you gone to a stitching retreat in another country? Where is she? Switzerland. Oh my. She's at Switzerland. A stitching retreat in Germany by the sounds of it. Oh. Who runs that one? Are you having an absolute blast? Have you made lots of purchases at your retreat? It is in Germany. I want to know the gossip now. How many people are there, Morty? Is it like a big one? Have you made lots of new friends? We need to know all the things of what we're missing out on. Frosty X Stitch runs it, Dawn. And yes, lots. Ooh, is it your first time? She might be enabling us. We could go to Germany, people. It's like a stitching holiday. I think we could do some of that. Is there shops there? And lots of like purchasing happening. That's the only thing with the Essex Needles retreat, actually. I'm like, oh, I need to make sure that I've got some pennies left over for after all this spending that I've done. I need to make sure that there's plenty of money for the shopping at the Essex Needles retreat. I've got my eye on some stuff. Charlotte's like, let's go, Teresa. Take me away. Take me away to a stitching retreat in another country. We won't say no to that. We're all at it. We're all going to Germany. We're all gonna go on a holiday retreat. That would be nice, people. That would be nice. I'd go to Germany, France, or Switzerland. Hooray, write it down. Yep, I think we need to. I didn't even know that it existed. Frosty X Stitch runs it. I need to look that one up. I went to a retreat in another country and it was so much fun. I don't think I've ever been to... well, have I? No, I've not actually been to a retreat in another country. I've been to a very good friend, a stitchy friend's house in another country. But not to an actual retreat in another country. But that's an absolute blast. Absolute blast. See what we're all missing out on? We'd love to get away. Joyce, you must have so many retreats in the US that it's ridiculous. I mean, to be honest, we're actually getting a lot more in the UK now. It's becoming a lot better, like a thing. Mad Morty says XU Designs is here. So is the Snowflower Diaries and Frog and Fudge. Oh, Morty! Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to hear the gossip on this. We want your we want to know what you think and all the purchasing, because I reckon there's lots of purchasing happening. Right, hold on. This is where I messed up, people. Well, of course I've messed up. I always mess up. Next time you go, Debs, kidnap me and I'll keep you company. I'll throw you in my suitcase, shall I? Right, hold on. Let's just make sure. Right, so there should be a white one here. And then there should be 2 blue ones there. And then there's something else there. Right, okay. So there should be a white one there. 2 blue ones here. Because we messed it up. And then that one is a different colour. God, we love to fudge. Well, I do. Leave air holes first, though. I'm still waiting for Joyce to say how much. Yeah, US, very sad right now. No comments about that. Oh, my love. I know. But to be honest, I mean, I don't know if it will. For those of us that are in the UK, just before, well, I say just before, about an hour before I went live, they've got protesters in London at the moment. And yeah, the sites I saw on that, I was just like, it's just an opportunity to be hooligans and to just be bad. So I was like, yeah, not missing anything there. Number of people about 40 or 50 over the 3 days from all over. There's one American, but I'm not sure if she lives in Switzerland or somewhere else. Germans, Dutch, Swiss, 2 Italians, Hungarians. Oh my God. That sounds like so much fun, Morty. I take it Brom's there with you. Is it like a joint venture? We're joint venturing. Yeah, hugs to Joyce. We feel you, lovey. Brom's there too. Is he having a blast? Is he having a blast mingling? Right, where are we at? Where are we at? We're so close, people. So close, but I don't think we're going to be close enough. Not close enough to get this finished on alive. That's for sure. Because I do believe we are against the clock now. It's that time. He says, oh yeah, he's fluent in German. Is he now? That was a well-kept secret. I'm not fluent in German. I can say Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. That's about it. But I know words. I know the odd word. I used to work for a guy who was German, and the only thing that he was really good at was telling me swear words and telling me swear jokes. It's not really something that I could actually put to good use. So, and I'm not doing that on the live stream. Oh, look, Silver Stitches. She's doing it. She's doing her German. All I can hear tonight is fireworks. How do your little ladies cope with fireworks? Well, Honey is terrified to the point that we have to sedate her, and even with the sedation, it doesn't work. She tries to hide in holes. Bonbons couldn't care less. But then Bonbons is like that not only with fireworks but also with thunderstorms. So like earlier on, we had lightning and a couple of claps of thunder. Honey was out in the garden. Literally, as soon as this clap of thunder happened, that was in. She was in. She was in. She was hiding. She couldn't crawl between your legs fast enough. Bonbons was running down the garden, you know, chasing things. All that jazz. All that jazz. Living in AK is a long way to anywhere. Maybe a Stitch North in Canada might be closest. Not sure. But I really like the idea of going to the UK. And I want to do a walking tour in the country to castles. Well, we've got plenty of castles, that's for sure. Right, people. I think we didn't do too bad. I've actually done quite a bit of stitching for a live stream. I was probably rambling because I can't actually remember half of what we talked about now. But I'm a bit out of touch. I'm a bit... This is all sort of like trying to get back into the swing a bit. Oh, see what I mean? So much in the swing a bit that I've got the wrong camera on the wrong screen. Hold up. Where am I? Where's the me screen? Me. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. I'm going to move this out of the way. I did all right. We did all right on the stitching. Not massive amounts. Teresa, did you do your quilting homework? Susie, do you want to see my quilting homework? Hold on, people. I've got to do this without sort of... hold up. Yeah. So Susie gave me my quilting homework. Because otherwise this bag is never going to be made, right? So the quilting homework, I am pleased to say, is partially done. Partially done. So we have done my binding. I've done that on all 4 pieces. See? That was done this afternoon. I don't think they come out too bad as the other ones. Morty, don't take the piss, my love. Yes, Teresa is stitching. It's unheard of. But not only is Teresa stitching, but Teresa's been sewing. So like this afternoon on the chair whilst watching. Oh my God, people. You remember we was like back not so long ago talking about Outlander? Well, there's a spin-off, isn't there? The, oh, what's it called? Blood of Your Blood, which is now on Amazon Prime. Oh, it's dangerous. Dangerous. I can see me binging this. I'm going to binge it. So whilst I was sort of taking a break from everything and thought, right, don't do any stitching because you're going to be stitching tonight on a live. So sit and do something that you're supposed to be doing, such as binding. Whilst I was sitting there watching Blood of Your Blood. But of course it was like this. I'm trying so hard not to not look at what I was doing, but also not miss anything on the TV. What is this? Not taking the mickey at all, my lovely. Genuinely praised where praise is due. You will be pleased to see that I've achieved. I'm a full achiever today with the stream. We've actually managed to do stitching, and then today, this afternoon, we've managed to do sewing. Susie, are we pleased with my progress? I know it's not all of the things that we discussed that I needed to do, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I've got to try and remember what ones you said that I need to put the edges round and the drawer on them. Susie, are you around tomorrow so that I can check back in with you now that I've done the binding? Just to make sure that I'm putting the edging around the right bits. Did know about the spin-off. Yeah, I didn't. I say I didn't. I only knew because Lauren started watching it. But I didn't know that it was on there. But now I've started it, I'm like, yeah. We're invested. We're invested in the Blood of Your Blood. Right. And because it's Outlander. But this is like... This storyline is different because this is the storyline of how Claire and Jamie came to be. And there's some twists in there that I didn't even realise until I'd already started. And I'm like, oh, how exciting. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm very, very excited about that. Susie, I will call you tomorrow so that we can discuss my next steps, please. Because I know I wrote it down, but you remember when you were saying put it on Post-it notes? I've got so many Post-it notes on everything now that I've got confused. And some of the Post-it notes fell off. So I don't know which post-it notes I'm supposed to be following the instructions from. So we need to check back in on that. Diane says, take your Bella Filipina with you. Been a while. I probably should take a Bella Filipina, shouldn't I? Mad Multi says, the people they're casting in the spin-off are... Yeah, I must admit, literally, as soon as it started, I didn't even need to know who they were. I could see how they were related. So, like, for the instance, like Brian, I could tell straight away that he is Jamie's dad. So, yeah, I'm not going to say anymore because people haven't watched it. Chris is a multitasker. I love it. Oh dear, I wished. I'm not that good at multitasking. We proved that. Normally, I have very little stitching. The ruby brooch is a good one too. Only on Audible, sadly, not on TV. Do you know what? I'll take anything. I've run out of books to read, so like audio books to listen to. So the fact that I've now got invested in this, I will need something else. Joyce says, does it matter what you take to the retreat? Well, yeah, because I am not doing what I normally do and traipsing halfway up the country with a load of... Hello, new subscriber. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. No, I must admit, I'm like, I always get a bit like, when I load the car up. I go out of my way to pull everything out, get it down, bag it up, stick it in, and then drive halfway across the country, only to then drive it all the way back and it never came out the bag. That I really find hard. I really find that hard. Lolly said, did you read the Powerless series? Powerless. Which ones are they, Lauren? I think I did. Is it part of the series of... now you're asking. Oh, I can't remember. Can't remember. I'll have to look. I'll have to have a look. At least they had a trip out. Yeah, but I don't want my stitching having a trip out. The only trip out it needs to make is into my hands to be stitched and then tripped back into its cupboard. Doesn't need to go around the world. What genre do you read? I tend to like a lot of the fantasy stuff. So like Thrones of... Is it... Well... Thrones. What? Oh, Lauren. What was the name? Do you know what? There's no point in asking me anything. It's like gone 9 o'clock. Fourth Wing. Yep. Throne of Glass. That's the series that I normally have listened to. The actor of the Fourth Wing. I think I have had I've listened to Fearless. So the Ruby Brooch is the first of 12 books so far. 13 is in progress. Oh, we'll have to have a little look at that because that could last a long time. So Michelle West and Michelle Sahar. Mercedes Lakey. Oh, we'll have to have a little look. We'll have to have a little look, people. Right. I'm going to call it a day because my brain is starting to turn into mush. To the point that I can't even remember my books that I normally would listen to. And yeah. It's a thing. I've definitely got brain fog these days, which is why I think I find it quite hard to sort of stitch and chat to you all at the same time. So thankfully, you all talk to each other and you talk to me, and that gives me something else to say, because otherwise it would be a very quiet stitch video, wouldn't it? If I just sort of sat going. Mad Morty says, when the moon hatched. Ooh. Charlotte needs to go and feed the husband. I would have thought that you'd have done that already, my love. Thank you, Morty. I'll have to have a little look at that one. When the moon hatched. Lauren, make a note of when the moon hatched, because anything that I read, you read. Cozy Mystery. Kerry Greenwood has 2 sets. She's Australian. Oh, we'll have to have a little look. Quick one before you go. Where is the chair from? I did get this off of Amazon. I'll be honest. Ask me again on YouTube or something, and I will put the link in, because you're not the only person to ask, Chloe. There's been quite a few people that have asked me about this chair, but if I'm not mistaken, the last time I looked at this chair, it was no longer in stock. Just an FYI, but I will have a little look. But put a comment in the YouTube channel, and then I can put the link there if it's available. Oh, there you go. Lolly just put the link to the chair in the chat. That was for the chair, right, Lol? Just making sure it was for the chair. No, we don't eat until late as he works nights. Plus, it's nice to not eat with 2 children distracting you. Off you go, Charlotte. Go and enjoy your dinner with your hubby. I'm going to make a move now. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I've had an absolute blast. I'm sorry it was a little bit bitty in places. It's new and fresh again. But hopefully I'll get back to doing it a little bit more regularly. And yeah, I'll flow. It'll be more natural, because it didn't feel as natural as normal. Lovely to see everyone tonight. It was. So thank you for giving up your time and coming and hanging out with me. I've had a blast. I hope I've kept you company. Morty, have a lovely time. And Brom, I want to hear about it when you get back. All the excitement and all the fun. Yeah, I'm going to head off now because I'm feeling rather parched. It might be tipple time. It's tipple o'clock for me, but I'm going to do that offline. So thank you ever so much, guys. Take care, and hopefully it won't be too long until I see you again.